It was a golden afternoon in the middle of spring, the kind that makes even the city seem gentle for a while. The glass towers glimmered against the blue sky, and beneath them, a little girl stood alone outside St. Monica's Academy, clutching a crumpled invitation in her trembling hands. Her hair was neatly tied in twin braids, and her uniform was spotless, but her eyes carried the quiet ache of someone who had learned to wait for love that never arrived. The other children were running into the auditorium with their parents, giggling, adjusting their costumes, while she stood by the gate, her lips pressed tight to stop the tears. Her name was Aria Collins, the daughter of one of the city's richest CEOs, a man everyone admired but few truly knew. 4 months, she had practiced her lines for the annual school play. She was supposed to play a little bird who learns to fly again after losing its mother. The irony of it didn't escape her, even though she was only 8. Her mother had passed away 3 years ago, and her father, Leonard Collins, had buried himself in work so deeply that even grief couldn't find him anymore. Meetings, flights, and numbers, that was his world. Aria's was the silence of a big empty house filled with echoes and framed photographs of a woman who used to hum lullabies, and that day, when her teacher announced they'd need parents to attend the school play, she had smiled bravely, pretending it didn't matter. But now, as she stood outside the gates with the invitation slipping from her hand, she realized it mattered more than anything. That was when she saw Maya Jensen. Maya was a freelance illustrator in her early 30s, dressed in a faded blue sweater and carrying a sketchpad tucked under her arm. She was sitting on a nearby bench, sketching the blooming jacaranda tree that leaned over the sidewalk. Her life wasn't glamorous. She worked part-time at a local art studio, barely making rent, yet she carried an aura of quiet resilience that made her seem grounded, kind, and safe. Aria hesitated for a moment, then walked up to her. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "Ma'am, can you pretend to be my mom for the school play?" The question hit Maya like a gentle storm. She looked up, startled, and saw those innocent brown eyes swimming with unshed tears. There was something so heartbreakingly sincere in the child's voice that it made her chest tighten. Maya had always loved children. Once, years ago, she had dreamed of having her own. But life had been unkind. A broken engagement, years of loneliness, and a quiet acceptance that some dreams never return. Yet, in that moment, something within her flickered to life again. Before we go further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the beauty of helping others heal, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Echoes of Kindness. Every story here is a reminder that even small acts can change a life. Maya knelt beside Aria and smiled softly. "Of course, sweetheart," she said, her voice gentle. "Let's go show them how amazing you are." Inside the school auditorium, the seats were filling fast. Children in colorful costumes scurried backstage, and teachers called out instructions. Aria held Maya's hand tightly, introducing her to teachers as "my mom." No one questioned it. The warmth in Maya's eyes made it believable. She brushed Aria's hair, straightened her little costume, and whispered, "You'll do great. Just remember, fly with your heart." When the play began, the lights dimmed, and the first act unfolded in laughter and applause. Then it was Aria's turn. She stepped onto the stage, her wings made of white feathers, her face glowing under the spotlight. She looked toward the audience, and for the first time, she saw someone looking back with love. Not pity, not sympathy, but genuine love. Her lines flowed like music. "Even when I lost my mother," she said softly, "I learned that love never truly leaves. It just changes its wings." The audience was still. Maya's eyes glistened with tears she didn't bother to hide. She clapped louder than anyone else when the curtains fell. After the performance, Aria ran into her arms, giggling with joy. "You really came," she whispered. And for Maya, that simple gratitude filled the hollow places inside her heart. But not everyone was at peace that evening. Miles away, in his high-rise office, Leonard Collins sat staring at his phone. His assistant had sent a message reminding him of the play, the same one he had ignored earlier. It was already over. He sighed, leaning back in his chair, feeling the weight of another missed moment. He wasn't heartless, just lost in a world where success had replaced connection. He didn't realize that while he was chasing dreams, his daughter had stopped dreaming altogether. The next morning, the story reached him through unexpected means. His secretary, who had attended the play because her niece was in it, mentioned that Aria had performed beautifully and that she had been accompanied by her mother. Leonard froze. "Her mother," he repeated, his voice low. The woman nodded. "A kind lady was there with her. Said she was Aria's mom." Everyone thought she was lovely. Something inside him snapped, not in anger, but in guilt. That evening, he drove to Aria's school unannounced. The teacher explained what had happened, and by the time he reached home, he found Aria sitting in her room, coloring a drawing of a woman and a child holding hands under a tree. "That's her," Aria said softly when he asked. "She's my pretend mom." But she felt real, Daddy. Her words pierced deeper than any accusation could. Leonard couldn't sleep that night. He sat by the window, watching the city lights blur through tears he hadn't shed in years. The next day, he found Maya. She was sketching again at the same bench, the jacaranda tree now shedding its petals like purple snow. When he approached her, he introduced himself quietly and thanked her. "You gave my daughter something I couldn't," he admitted, his voice heavy. "And I don't even know how to thank you." Maya smiled politely, shaking her head. "You don't have to. She's a wonderful child. She just misses being seen." That simple sentence stayed with him. Over the next few weeks, Leonard began showing up to school events, to breakfasts, to bedtime stories. At first, he didn't know what to say, but Aria didn't need grand speeches. She just needed her father to listen, to laugh, to be there.